afternoon. This is your Pan-African show called Africa with your host Qetselaworq Seifu. We are once again going into the fashion world and we have a great guest for you. Thank you for coming to our studio.
Thank you for introducing me, Qetsela.
Could you please tell us who Lulit is and a little bit background before we dive into the questions?
Sure. I'm Lulit Johannes, born in Addis in 1965. Went to Lycée Gabra Mariam till 10th grade, then moved to the US. I finished my high school in Iowa and college in Ohio.
What did you graduate in?
In international business.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me, what did you do with it, the international business? Did you do anything? Or
I did not do much with it. I ended up working in Los Angeles after my studies.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit interior designing. Then moved to Dubai with my mom for a couple of years, where I met my husband. Then moved to Italy.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. At some point, you know, since I know you, I've known that you've actually worked in the graphic design department.
Yes.
So how did you get into the graphics?
When I moved to Italy, that was a choice that I had, as my husband was an exhibition stand builder worldwide. So we decided to have a branch to do a graphic.
Okay.
So we worked for the Italian defense minister. Those were our clients. So we traveled worldwide for air shows and boat shows and so forth, till the crisis of 2008, when we shut down, and I decided to do what I love to do, which is fashion.
Brilliant. So fashion.
Yeah.
But before you got into the fashion, you were doing jewelry.
Yes.
Or did it happen together?
No, it happened with the jewelry
first. Okay.
Yes.
So tell me that journey, if you don't mind.
Okay. That part is a bit strange because I ended up picking up a fork in the house, which was given from my mother. It was all silver. So I started bending it, and it started bending. So I said, why don't I create jewelry with it? So that's when I started doing it.
Okay.
And ended up creating bracelets out of fork, rings out of teaspoons, and so forth. So that was also another, I think, therapy for me, as my mom had passed away. So that really helped me to heal and move on.
I know you finished your mom's silver spoons. And then you went into?
Yes, I went into searching for spoons and forks that are, I think, the early 1950s and lower to 1800s. So in simple markets, Sunday markets, antique markets, from Italy to southern France, they usually have these outdoor markets, and that's where I pick out these silver jewels. Recycling is also beautiful.
They're basically antiques.
They're all antiques. The early one that I have is the 1950s.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
So then you went from your jewelry, you got into your designs.
Yes.
Okay, so now we can talk about the designs.
Great. So the design was also another let me try it type of thing. I've always traveled worldwide and had colors, ideas, and fascinated by all the different cultures. So I decided to make, I think, 20 samples in silk, as I lived in Italy and had access to it. So I did a fashion show, was invited to a fashion show, and the next week I distributed it to boutiques, and they ended up selling. So I said, why shouldn't I continue doing it? So that's where it all started.
It's all started.
Yeah.
Then you went from silks from Italy, because now you're basically, all of your products are Ethiopian fabrics.
Ethiopian fabrics, and the silk ones come from everywhere.
So
call it India, or I still do silk, but it's all made in Ethiopia, except the silk part of fabric. So I've decided to come to my country. Yes.
I'm sorry, before you tell me that, I would, because you live in Italy.
I live in Italy.
And Italy in fashion is pretty big.
Yes.
So what made you decide to actually come to Ethiopia and have your production made here at home?
Because I love the fabrics. I love to use Ethiopian fabric to represent myself, my own country, in other places. And I decided to use shamma, and leather in Ethiopia is fantastic. And combine it with the Italian silk, as silk is not so big here. And I'm known in little places in Italy as, you know, the Ethiopian designer, using Ethiopian shamma, hand-woven, and Ethiopian leather, Ethiopian products, and also adding on my silverware Ethiopian stones or silver beads to give it that look, that rich Ethiopian look.
Now, I want to dive more into how you choose your fabrics for different styles. For example, what you have on.
Yeah.
How do you look at a fabric? Because I find that very interesting with designers, because you can look at a fabric and you know exactly what you're going to do with that fabric.
Exactly. I think it's just, it just comes to you, I believe. I just go to shops. For example, last year I did a whole cream collection, because that's what was available. And so as I had ordered also colorful hand-woven fabrics from Bahar Dar that I received, but then, you know, my real collection was made with the cream coat that you're wearing.
That I have on.
Yeah, and all Ethiopian hand-woven, the thin cotton, called itartar. That's the two products that I used, and leather, of course.
You did your silk in Italy, and it was so accepted and loved that it was sold out.
Yes.
So when it comes to our fabric,
right,
how acceptable is it? Do they absolutely love it, or do they have
they do absolutely love it. They love the cotton. They actually were scared to touch the itartar part because they were so fascinated. They say it looks like garza, which is what we wrap, you know, around our arms when when you have a sprain. A sprain. So they're so fascinated. How can one make cotton like this weaving? And they're so fascinated. I also tell them how it's hand woven. I have some videos to show them how it's woven the old way. So all these things fascinate a lot the Europeans.
Brilliant. So they like the idea.
They love the idea. They love the leather, because I think it's competitive with the Italian leather. Yeah, it's very, very high quality. The colors are vibrant, at least the ones that I chose. The quality is really high, so they get really, that's one part that over the winter time they buy. It sells a lot.
So do you do coats?
I do trench coats, I do shorts, I do pants, I do skirts. Usually I go for one size fits all type of thing. This time around I'm doing shorts and, you know, and trench coats,
Because one of the things I've noticed, I guess I should say back in the days, a lot of the things that I've seen that you have made are very asymmetrical. They're not your norm. It's not the norm. And I always feel like maybe it's because of your graphic artist behind it that you give it, I don't know how to say it, but you give life, you give a different movement.
It could be. It could be because I've worked in the graphic work for 23 years. So even though I did mostly the marketing, but I was always helping with the design. With the design and so forth.
Did help.
It did help, for sure. I mean, that's also another way of learning art. Exactly.
Absolutely. Do you dabble in art? Because you obviously are gifted.
I try to do limited editions, because I think that's also really wonderful that women could have their own piece in a country. Maybe one piece I would duplicate, maybe 8 pieces maximum of one design. So, I mean, a woman feels that, you know, she has one piece and she's special. Exactly. So it's limited.
As a designer, so there's pattern making, there's sewing, there's a lot of other things that go into it. And usually when somebody just loves fashion so much and gets into it, And the reason why I'm asking you is because there are quite a lot of women that haven't gone to school in fashion design school.
I haven't either.
Exactly,
Yeah.
which I feel like it's actually somehow best because you're not limited, you're not put in a box.
No, exactly.
You're
You just
open.
flow. You just flow.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just
Exactly.
go. Yeah. I think what helped a lot is mostly the traveling, mostly looking at, people around.
Yeah, different designs,
different countries, different cultures, and then you combine all of it and create something out of the blue. It just comes.
That's a blessing because that's definitely an artist as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you.
What do you think? Because fashion currently around Africa is just taking a completely different direction. It's
Right.
just amazing.
Right.
So I would like to know what your thinking is and how do you think it's going in the international market?
It's going highly. Everybody is using, even Americans call it Europeans, are starting to use African fabrics, actually, the big designers. I've noticed that, whereas a few years ago, it was not in. Now I think Max Mara has used African fabric.
Wow.
Yeah. Even the high-end are using it. African designers are participating in very high international fashion shows and even local fashion shows. Some of them come from South Africa, some of them come from Kenya, from Cape Verde. So there's plenty of them participating and being appreciated.
So what do you think Ethiopia as a country in that industry, how are we going? And since you don't live here and you come to do your production,
Right.
how do you feel that getting our textile? Is it easy to go get what you need? How accessible
Well, I
is
have a few places that I'm used to going regularly.
Okay.
Yeah, each time I come. So that's where I get my stuff. But this time around, I think they're having problems getting cotton. And there wasn't a big choice of material. It was the same ones that I used 3 years ago. I did not find new designs or prints or any fabrics.
So how do you guys, as designers, deal with this kind of shortage? I guess I should call it, right?
Yes, exactly. You make a shortcut and decide to use another fabric.
Another fabric.
This time around, I was supposed to use cotton, but I did not find what I really wanted or was looking for. So I decided to move and did leather, a lot more leather than cotton. So you have to go with the flow. You have
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
You can't let it
stop you. You just turn around and move towards whatever is available and, create.
You still live in Italy?
Yes, I do.
And if I'm not mistaken, you've got 2 girls?
Yes, I have twins. They're going to be 25 in December.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
They're adults now.
They're adults, yeah.
So do you use them on your fashion?
Fashion show. When they were a little bit younger, yes. Now they're a bit shy and sometimes they help out to do photo shoots.
Okay.
But fashion shows, no.
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 Okay. Beautiful.
Thank you.
What we wanted to show today was the pieces that Lulit has done. So we're going to have a nice little fashion show.
Yes, exactly.
So do you want to tell us about that line that we're going to see?
The line is actually last year's collection. It's all hand-woven Ethiopian cotton, made here in Ethiopia. So a little bit of leather and itirtir, called cotton, 100% cotton, hand-woven in Ethiopia and sewn in Ethiopia. The buttons that I used are beach stones that I drilled myself and created buttons, yeah. So
that makes it special.
Yeah, that makes it different.
Absolutely.
It's special, So, what
fabric is this?
This is leather. This is Ethiopian leather. It's a tie-dye leather.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we've started actually doing tie-dye.
Yes. You find it in Eliko.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is a tie-dye overall with antique 1950s button.
Ah.
Yeah. So we combine a bit of recycling from old Italian tailors, and it's
so
beautiful.
what would you call this piece? A jumpsuit?
A jumpsuit, yeah. It's a jumpsuit.
Beautiful.
I love the color.
Yeah, very vibrant.
Yeah, I think vibrant just makes life alive.
Absolutely.
It gives it color.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah. Here we go. Huh?
Beautiful suit.
Thank you.
Those buttons on top.
The buttons on top are made out of beach stones that I was telling you about.
The drilling.
Hand-drilled beach stones. It's 100% cotton, hand-woven cream. And the bag is leather. And it's all these little pieces were cut.
And sewed together.
Yeah, and sewn together. The upper buttons are wood. And
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I also noticed it on mine, and I noticed this.
Yeah, this is the red shoe symbol, which so many women have been abused, battered. After COVID, especially, I'm talking about Europe, I mean, it happens all over the world. So I've decided to put this red shoe, would give it to an organization when these suits sell, to help women.
That have been abused.
Yes, that have been abused, yes.
Beautiful.
So this little red shoe is, represents that.
Beautiful, thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, this is beautiful.
Thank you. A gorgeous girl too.
Right.
So this is the one that I was telling you about, the fabric. Yeah, usually made in Asmara, I believe. Okay. But you can also find these fabrics in Shiromeda.
Okay.
And the belt is half cotton, half leather. And there we go. It's our angelic dress.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Well, this is the same fabric. Yeah. The only difference is the arm, where these have buttons, and the puffy arm, and belt, same leather belt, but this is a bag, like a pochette, yeah, with a ring.
I know, I love the ring.
So it would be a lot easier to hold it.
Exactly.
I think, yeah. There you go.
Very interesting piece.
This is the same tie-dye skirt that literally fits about 3 sizes. What regulates is the belt.
Okay.
The belt buckle is aluminum with my logo incised on it, and black suede belt.
Beautiful. This is another beautiful color.
I love the colors. Yeah,
gorgeous.
It's tie-dye, and on the other side it's solid green, but still has some yellow in it. So this is also another skirt that fits about 2 or 3 sizes. What the belt? This one gets wider. The side, yeah.
what beautiful color.
This is a hand-woven fabric from Bahar Dar. There are two types. As you see, they're the dot ones and then the little diamond ones. And another recycled pearl button from the 50s.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Last but not least, this is a hand-painted manan.
Hand-painted?
Yes, I painted it myself, and with the technique, and it doesn't wear off.
Beautiful.
Thank you, thank you.
I love the colors.
Yeah, they're kind of fun. It reminds me of fire, nature,
I know, especially
earth tone
the ones
colors.
on the leaves.
And this is the same bag in brown leather.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, Salah.
So you gave us a glimpse of what you are doing, and I truly appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Qetsu, for having me. Thank you.
So before we close off, I would like you, since you've been doing this for quite some time, you know, I'm sure there would be young designers that see and get inspired. So if there's any words of wisdom that you have for the new upcoming designers, this would be the time.
Never give up.
Thank you.
Keep on trying.
Keep on
Keep on moving, yeah.
I would like to say thank you for coming out here, to giving us this chance to
Thank you,
actually
Qetsu,
have.
for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you so much.
This is your Pan-African show called Africa with your host Qetselaworq Seifu. Today we had designer Lulit Johannes in the studio, and we thank her again for coming out here. Please tune in on Saturdays from 4 to 5 on African Renaissance Satellite Television. Thank you again.